students, we tend to miss home very frequently. We miss our family, we miss our friends, and one thing that we miss the most is our pets, specifically our dogs. But why are we so attached to our dogs? One possible answer is because our canine friends provide mental and physical support to humans. Not only do dogs bring us great joy, but they have significant effects on our physical well-being. Today I'm going to talk to you about how dogs are extremely beneficial to mental health and can help with PTSD, anxiety, seizures, and more. So, PTSD, also known as post-traumatic stress disorder, is a disease that is caused by a traumatic event which lingers in a person's mind. PTSD is extremely common in military personnel and veterans, and it can cause early retirement, large medical bills paid for by taxpayers, and many other mental health issues. A study that is called A Call for Research on the Impact of Dogs Deployed in Units to Reduce Post-Traumatic Stress decided to see if dogs would help reduce post-traumatic stress in current military personnel. Current PTSD treatment only begins after 30 days, but the effects set in on day 0. Dogs on day 0 can significantly decrease the effects, as the study shows. Currently, there are only 2 mainstream treatments for PTSD, psychological, such as therapy, or pharmaceutical, such as medicine. Both psychological treatment and pharmaceutical treatment causes lots of shame to veterans and other people who suffer with PTSD. Dogs are a great alternative as a therapy. They provide not only a companion, but a less shameful treatment to those who might be worried about what people will think of them if they have PTSD. Dogs are also scientifically proven to help reduce anxiety as well. A doggone way to reduce stress and animal-assisted intervention with college students is a study shown that dogs help college students reduce anxiety during finals and midterms. Dogs are now being used, even here at Cal Poly, to help students feel less anxious and less stressed out. Cal Poly utilizes this program because they know that at such a hard-working school, students are really struggling, and they can use that support. Dogs also remind students of the support structures that they have at home. It reminds them of friends, family, and the animals that they have at home, which is comforting. But do dogs really only have a scientific effect? An article named "Can Animals Keep the Doctors Away?" said that dogs mainly have a cheering effect on humans, and the serotonin in the human body has more of a health effect than the dog does. I personally have 2 mental support dogs, who are both female pit bulls, and studies show that large female dogs are the most empathetic, and they help release serotonin in the human body. But dogs are also being used in other ways, such as to help prisoners decrease their anger, and have become a reliable therapy method for prisoners. Is the Tail Wagging the Dog describes a program used by Australian correctional facilities to partner their prisoners with dogs. In this study, 67 out of 98 prisoners went on to parole and never returned to jail. Dogs help them lower their anger and sadness levels, as well as lower their blood pressure during interviews. The dogs have also heightened the prisoner's social sensitivity. In a similar situation, with Going to the Dogs, a quasi-experimental assessment of animal-assisted therapy for children who have experienced abuse, shows that children who have been abused or are on the autistic scale tend to open up to dogs more than they do to people. Dogs also help lower stress in the children and make them feel playful again. Service dogs are dogs that help disabled people handle their disabilities. You have sight dogs for people who are blind, hearing dogs for people who are deaf, and now we even have dogs that can alert diabetic people when they're going to have a diabetic episode. But another new type of service dog is a seizure dog. Dog alerting or responding to epileptic seizures is a study that shows that dogs are naturally able to sense seizures in humans. And when trained properly, they can help the owner realize that they are about to have a seizure and keep them safe in the house they're sitting in. My sister personally had seizures as a kid, and before any of these studies were presented, our dog would bark at our parents when she was going to have a seizure. We never realized what was quite happening, but when I read this article, I realized that they really are that talented. As I've told you today, dogs are extremely smart animals who have so much to offer to humans. From helping relieve the effects of anxiety, trauma, and alerting to health issues, they are truly man's best friend. The next time you go home, make sure to hug your dog and appreciate how much they can do for you.